Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I would like to welcome you to the March 16, 2021 US 287 Mansfield virtual public hearing, which has been pre-recorded for the proposed construction project of US 287 from Union Pacific Railroad to Lone Star Road in Tarrant and Johnson Counties. We appreciate your interest in the US 287 Mansfield project and welcome each of you. Please note that you may pause this presentation at any point to allow more time to view the slides. Thank you for joining us. My name is Ricardo Gonzalez, and I serve as the Director of Transportation Planning and Development for the Fort Worth District of the Texas Department of Transportation, better known as TxDOT. This virtual public hearing, presented by TxDOT, is being provided to share information and encourage comments from the public regarding the proposed US 287 Mansfield project. The project webpage for this virtual public hearing is www.TxDOT.gov. Search US 287 Mansfield. Given the unique circumstance of the COVID-19 outbreak, along with our commitment to protecting public health during this national emergency, TxDOT is conducting this virtual public hearing to avoid in-person contact. Additionally, TxDOT is providing an in-person option for individuals who would like to participate in person instead of online. Attendees at the in-person option will be able to view the same presentation delivered in the virtual online public hearing, review hard copies of the project materials, and leave written comments. This presentation will cover the same information the Fort Worth District would have shared at an in-person public hearing. However, the comment process for the virtual public hearing will be different from what we normally conduct at an in-person hearing and will be explained shortly. All project information can be found on the TxDOT website. For health and safety reasons, we encourage the public to view the project materials displayed online to avoid in-person contact.
The in-person option will be held on Tuesday, March 16, 2021 from 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. Attendance at the in-person option will be by appointment only. Individuals wishing to attend the in-person option may call 817-370-6906 Monday through Friday between the hours of 8 a.m. and 5 p.m. to make an appointment and receive further instructions regarding the in-person option. The virtual public hearing has been convened by the Texas Department of Transportation and is being held to receive and consider comments from the public regarding the US 287 Mansfield project. You may have attended previous public hearings conducted by the Texas Department of Transportation. However, for the benefit of those of you who have never attended one, I would like to explain why and how the department conducts a public hearing. A public hearing has four essential purposes. 1. Inform the public of the status of planning for the project and present the recommendations based on studies performed to date. 2. Describe the project so those attending can determine the project's potential to affect their lives and property. 3. Provide the public an opportunity to see information and express their views at this stage in the planning process, when flexibility to respond to comments still exists and before location and design decisions are finalized. 4. And finally, to develop a record of public views and participation to accompany recommendations for subsequent decisions. The virtual public hearing is being held in compliance with both federal and state laws. A transcript of this hearing will be made available for the official record. Following the virtual public hearing, the department will proceed with the preparation of the final environmental documentation. Your statements and comments will be addressed in this document and will be given full consideration in the preparation of the final recommendation and design for the US 287 Mansfield project. TxDOT is committed to continuing our efforts to gain public feedback about this project. We understand this virtual public hearing format is a bit different, so let's take a few minutes and explain the comment process, which is the most important part of this video. Comments will be accepted in a number of ways. You may fill out a comment online by clicking the Submit Your Comment button on the TxDOT website, submit a written comment via email to ray.jeykumar@txdot.gov, submit a written comment via mail to Fort Worth District Office, attention Carl L. Johnson, P.E., District Engineer, 2501 Southwest Loop 820, Fort Worth, Texas 76133, or leave a verbal comment via voicemail at 469-708-3179. There is a link for a PDF comment form that can be filled out on the computer and emailed to the address provided, or printed, filled out by hand, and then mailed to the address provided. Comments must be received or postmarked by Wednesday, March 31st, 2021 to be part of the official virtual public hearing record. Questions on this project may be directed to the TxDOT project manager, Ray J. Kumar, PE, at ray.jeykumar@txdot.gov or 817-370-6906. The public hearing layout, environmental documentation or studies, any maps and drawings showing the project location and design, tentative construction schedules, and other information regarding the proposed US 287 Mansfield project may be viewed at www.txdot.gov and by searching US 287 Mansfield. The information on this website is the same information being presented in this speech. TxDOT is proposing the construction of US 287 frontage roads, northbound and southbound, within existing right-of-way, from north of Heritage Parkway to south of the Union Pacific Railroad, UPRR, and from south of Heritage Parkway to south of Lone Star Road, an approximate 1.99-mile-long section in Tarrant and Johnson Counties. The proposed project is needed because the existing US 287 south of Broad Street in Mansfield is currently operating as a divided highway from a speed and traffic volume standpoint, but without the safety improvements that a limited access freeway provides. There is a safety issue in that adjacent property owners have direct driveway access to the main lanes. This project will address these safety concerns by completing this facility to operate as a limited access freeway. Adjacent property owners will have driveway access to the frontage roads instead of the main lanes. The purpose of the proposed project is to improve safety and update the roadway to current design standards. The existing US 287 roadway consists of two 12-foot wide main lanes in each direction, with 4-foot wide inside shoulders, 10-foot wide outside shoulders, and a 64-foot wide median. The typical right-of-way width is approximately 400 feet. Discontinuous frontage roads are located at the Heritage Parkway interchange. Heritage Parkway connects to the frontage roads by jug handle connections. The frontage roads consist of two 12-foot wide lanes and one 12-foot wide inside auxiliary lane in each direction, with 8-foot wide inside and outside shoulders. US 287 entrance and exit ramps at the Heritage Parkway frontage roads and at Lone Star Road consist of one 14-foot wide lane with 2-foot wide inside shoulders and 8-foot wide outside shoulders. The existing Lone Star Road at the eastern project terminus consists of one 12-foot wide lane in each direction, separated by a 0 to 64-foot wide median. Near the northbound US 287 frontage road intersection, the roadway transitions into one 12-foot wide westbound lane with a 12-foot wide dedicated right turn lane at US 287 and one 12-foot wide eastbound lane. Between the northbound US 287 frontage road and the Lone Star Road Bridge, Lone Star Road consists of one 12-foot wide lane in each direction with 8-foot wide inside and outside shoulders. The Lone Star Road Bridge consists of one 12-foot wide lane in each direction with 8-foot wide inside and outside shoulders and a 6-foot wide sidewalk along the north side of the bridge. West of the bridge, Lone Star Road consists of one 12-foot wide lane in each direction with 8-foot wide inside and outside shoulders. The proposed project consists of the construction of US 287 frontage roads, northbound and southbound, within existing right-of-way from north of Heritage Parkway to south of the Union Pacific Railroad, UPRR, and from south of Heritage Parkway to south of Lone Star Road. Bike lanes would be included along the frontage roads to accommodate cyclists. Continuous sidewalks would be constructed along the frontage roads to accommodate pedestrians, as well as curb and gutter and drainage structures, some of which would require additional easements of 0.13 acre. Auxiliary lanes would be added between the entrance and exit ramps along US 287 main lanes and frontage roads in both directions between UPRR and Lone Star Road. The existing southbound exit ramp and northbound entrance ramp between Heritage Parkway and Lone Star Road would be relocated to the north to accommodate the new U-turn bridge. New denial of access would be required and no driveways or proposed roadways would be allowed from the adjacent properties to the frontage roads near the relocated ramps. U-turn lanes would be provided at the north and south ends of the project. Bike lanes would be included along the frontage roads to accommodate cyclists. Continuous sidewalks would be constructed adjacent to the frontage roads and U-turns to accommodate pedestrians as well as curb and gutter and drainage structures. Lone Star Road would be reconstructed and widened from 2 lanes to 6 lanes, from Business 287 South Main Street to the main driveway leading to Texas Health Mansfield. A new Lone Star Road bridge would be constructed over the US 287 main lanes for eastbound traffic, and a new bridge would be added to accommodate the U-turn lane. The existing bridge would accommodate westbound traffic and would be raised to meet current vertical clearance criteria. Along Lone Star Road, a shared use path would be constructed on the new eastbound bridge to accommodate pedestrians and bicyclists. Utility adjustments and relocations throughout the corridor would be required prior to construction. The adjustments and relocation of any utilities would be managed so that no substantial interruptions would occur. The US 287 Mansfield project is anticipated to be awarded for construction late 2021 and will take approximately 2 years to be constructed. The total estimated cost for the entire project is approximately $35.5 million. The project is currently partially funded. This concludes the project information and design portion of the presentation. The next few slides will provide an overview of the environmental evaluation for the proposed US 287 Mansfield project. Prior to December 16, 2014, the Federal Highway Administration, or FHWA, reviewed and approved documents prepared under the National Environmental Policy Act, known as NEPA. However, on December 16, 2014, the Texas Department of Transportation assumed responsibility from FHWA through a Memorandum of Understanding to review and approve certain assigned NEPA environmental documents. This Memorandum of Understanding between TxDOT and FHWA was updated on December 9, 2019. The review and approval process applies to this project. Environmental studies were conducted for the proposed US 287 Mansfield project to support an environmental clearance in accordance with NEPA. These environmental analyses are necessary to identify, avoid, and minimize effects to the human and natural environments. Technical environmental documentation was approved for further processing by TxDOT and was coordinated with other public agencies. Notices for the public hearing were advertised in the Star-Telegram on February 28, 2021, and La Estrella on February 15, 2021, mailed to adjacent property owners, interested parties, stakeholders, along with public and elected officials. The notice was also published online on the TxDOT.gov website under Hearings and Meetings Schedule on March 1, 2021. The TxDOT Public Information Office also prepared a news media release to advertise the public hearing. The TxDOT technical reports are available at the City of Mansfield and online at txdot.gov. Search the keyword US 287 Mansfield. The public meeting was held on Tuesday, July 16, 2019, from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. at the R.L. Anderson Building in Mansfield, Texas. The public hearing is being held Tuesday, March 16, 2021, as a virtual public hearing with an in-person option. The virtual public hearing will be available online from March 16, 2021 at 6 p.m. through March 31, 2021 at 11:59 p.m. The in-person public hearing is being held on Tuesday, March 16, 2021 from 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. at the RTC room at the TxDOT Fort Worth District Office by appointment only. Documentation in support of a categorical exclusion (CE) determination has been prepared for this project in accordance with NEPA. The environmental documentation has been provided to the public and includes an evaluation of the following: right-of-way easements, bicycle pedestrian accommodations, community impacts, vegetation, wildlife, water resources, cultural resources, hazardous materials, traffic noise, and air quality. No additional right-of-way is required. However, control of access is required near the US 287 at Lone Star Road entrance and exit ramps. Approximately 0.01 acre of drainage easement will be required to accommodate a new culvert at the UPRR U-turn, and approximately 0.12 acres of drainage easement area will be required to accommodate grading at the Low Branch Bridge class culvert. Bicycle and pedestrian accommodations were considered during the environmental process. Bike lanes would be included along the frontage roads to accommodate cyclists. These sections would consist of a 2-foot bike lane buffer and 6-foot bike lane. Continuous sidewalks would be constructed adjacent to the frontage roads to accommodate pedestrians. The sidewalks would be 6 foot wide. Along the new eastbound Lone Star Road Bridge, a 12-foot wide shared use path on the south side of the roadway will be constructed. The shared use path and traffic lanes will be separated by a concrete traffic rail and will have 2-foot wide railing offsets. The proposed eastbound Lone Star Road east and west of the proposed Lone Star Road Bridge over US 287 will consist of a 12-foot wide shared use path on the outside of the shared use lane. The project would have direct impacts on 1.8 acres of riparian, 0.3 acre of disturbed prairie, and 119.8 acres of urban vegetation. Out of the 125.1 acres of vegetation present, 121.9 acres of vegetation would be impacted. There is suitable habitat present within the proposed project area, and the project may impact the following species of greatest conservation need: Strecker's chorus frog, Woodhouse's toad, western burrowing owl, American badger, eastern spotted skunk, long-tailed weasel, mink, swamp rabbit, eastern box turtle, slender glass lizard, Texas garter snake, tree dodder, timber canebrake rattlesnake, western box turtle, Shinner's sedge, and 13-line ground squirrel. There is also suitable habitat present within the proposed project area, and the project may impact the following state-threatened species: the Louisiana pigtoe, sandbank pocketbook, and the Texas heel splitter. A mussel survey is anticipated prior to construction. Water resources throughout the project area were considered. A total of 0.298 acre are anticipated to be permanently impacted and 0.253 acre temporarily impacted out of a total of 1.172 acres of water bodies and wetland features within the project area. Impacts to water resources are anticipated to be permitted by the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers Nationwide Permit 14 Linear Transportation Projects with a pre-construction notification. Mitigation for the anticipated impacts may be necessary and would be determined during the permitting process. Final impacts to water bodies and wetland features will be determined during the plans, specifications, and estimates PS&E process. Traffic noise was considered for the proposed project. The land use activity areas adjacent to the proposed project currently consist of commercial development and a floodplain that is not permitted for construction. Therefore, there are no adjacent receivers that would be impacted by traffic noise from the proposed project. A North Central Texas Council of Governments congestion management process form was completed for the proposed project. This form provides information on alternative strategies to help alleviate congestion and enhance mobility throughout the area. The existing US 287's corridor deficiencies include alternative roadway infrastructure, which includes frontage roads, and modal options, which include bicycle/pedestrian options. The proposed US 287 Mansfield project will reduce these deficiencies with the proposed construction of the frontage roads, shared use path, bicycle lanes, and sidewalks. An air quality resources technical report was completed. It was determined that due to the average annual daily traffic for the estimated time of completion and the design year being below 140,000, it is unlikely that the carbon monoxide, also known as CO, would increase. It was also determined that this project would generate minimal air quality impacts for Clean Air Act criteria pollutants and has not been linked with any specific mobile source air toxic or MSAT concerns. During the construction phase of this project, temporary increases in particulate matter, or PM, and MSAT emissions may occur from construction activities. Dust control measures will be utilized throughout construction in order to minimize emissions. A transportation conformity report form was completed, and it was determined that this is a Federal Highway Administration and Federal Transit Administration, or FHWA/FTA, non-exempt project. FHWA/FTA will determine the project level conformity. There would be no negative impacts to environmental justice, EJ, or limited English proficiency, LEP communities. Negative impacts to community facilities are not anticipated. All hazardous materials identified for this project area were determined to be of no environmental concern. There would be no negative impacts on cultural or archaeological resources within the project area. The following agencies were coordinated with and consulted during the environmental review process: Texas Historical Commission, THC, Texas Parks and Wildlife Department, TPWD, United States Army Corps of Engineers, USACE, North Central Texas Council of Governments, NCTCOG, Federal Highways Administration, FHWA, and tribal nations. The following environmental technical reports can be viewed and downloaded at www.txdot.gov, search US 287 Mansfield. The list of technical reports includes a wetland delineation report, water surface analysis form, species analysis form, Tier 1 site assessment, historical project coordination request, archaeological background study, community impact assessment, hazardous materials site assessment, and traffic noise technical report. An air quality technical report, CMP form, and a transportation conformity report form were completed and will be made available to the public prior to environmental clearance. The Uniform Relocation Assistance and Real Property Acquisition Act of 1970, a law passed in 1970 that was designed to ensure that anyone who owned property needed for a public purpose would be treated fairly, establishes guidelines for the acquisition of property and the relocation of displaced individuals and businesses. It is the policy of TxDOT that individuals impacted by transportation systems expansion shall not be denied benefits, excluded from participation, or otherwise be subject to discrimination based on the grounds of race, color, sex, age, handicaps, or national origin. As stated, this project will not require any additional right-of-way, but it will require additional drainage easements and denial of access, which are part of the right-of-way acquisition process. Each impacted property owner is offered just compensation for the property needed for the project. To arrive at this value, independent appraisers are hired to prepare detailed appraisals and establish value. A written offer to the property owners is made based on the value determined in the appraisals. Property owners are given a minimum of 30 days to consider the offer. Right-of-way brochures are available on the TxDOT website. Based on studies thus far, the environmental investigations indicate that the proposed project would have no significant impact on the quality of the human environment. Revisions may be made to the environmental documents to update them or to address the needs of the state and federal agencies. Revisions may also be made as a result of public comments received during the comment period. After all necessary revisions are provided, a categorical exclusion determination is anticipated for this project. Following this virtual public hearing, the proposed project anticipates an environmental approval by summer 2021, utility adjustments by fall 2021, construction to begin late 2021, and construction to end by summer 2023. The approximate total project cost is $35.5 million. The project is currently funded for $1.5 million. As mentioned earlier, comments will be accepted in 4 ways, which are outlined on this slide. All comments will be fully considered and responded to in the project record and made part of the final environmental document for this proposed project. This document will then be made available for public review online at www.TxDOT.gov by searching US 287 Mansfield. All of your statements, comments, and questions will be given careful consideration before final design features are determined. Additionally, all information developed for the proposed design is available for public inspection and copying at www.TxDOT.gov by searching US 287 Mansfield. As a reminder, all comments must be received or postmarked by March 31st, 2021. The public may call project staff at 817-370-6906 during regular office hours or email project staff at any time in the project development process. Ladies and gentlemen, we sincerely appreciate your attendance and interest concerning the proposed design of the US 287 Mansfield project. Your questions, comments, and concerns will receive careful consideration. Please do not forget to submit your comments by Wednesday, March 31st, 2021. Thank you. This concludes the formal presentation. We are now adjourned.